I wasn't fully equipped with what being good with women entailed. I thought that it would be me just in a sea of women and me having my choice of the most beautiful girl, the coolest girl, the baddest bitch. And what I found was that all this did was give me more rope to hang myself with. Now, you, the viewer, are trying to improve yourself. Maybe you have gotten to a point where you start realizing this yourself. You aren't ready for a relationship yet. You might be getting the women, you might be getting the results, you might be getting the attraction, but the girls that you draw to you, the girls that you ultimately end up dating, have issues, cause you a lot of pain, make you go through a lot of bullshit, and you keep finding time and time again that the women that you are running into that are convincing you to date them are absolutely fucking out of their minds. And some of you guys are running into those type of girls, and maybe you are questioning your sense of reality. You don't know if reality is what you see or what this girl is telling you is actually going on. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys a compass that points towards an insane bitch, someone you want to avoid at all costs. Let's get into it. Yeah, bitch, I got some buzzes clawing at my fucking stomach. I'm from the shadows. As it turns out, I might be working with a company, which means I might have to call off my group boot camps. The last group boot camp is going to be end of next month. After that, the summer group boot camps are over. So if you're wanting to sign up, 702-841-9909 and start the conversation off with where you want to travel to and which boot camp you're looking at. I'll leave the places I'll be doing boot camps in the comment section below. Now I'm going to start this list off with the smallest red flag to the most intense red flag. The ones at the very top, yes, it's a red flag, but it's not an absolute indicator that this girl is trouble. Now, when you go down to the bottom of the list, that starts becoming a different story completely. Top ones are mild red flags, and as it goes down to the bottom of the list, they get more and more intense and a little bit more worrying. She doesn't have any hobbies. This one is not really necessarily a full-out red flag, but it is something to notice. If a girl isn't doing anything, if she doesn't have anything she spends her free time with, what is she doing? Why doesn't she have hobbies? Why doesn't she have something that she's exploring or having fun with or playing with? To be fair, it's an indication that she might not be that intelligent. It might be an indication that you're talking to a cow person, a follower of the crowd, somebody that is just given so much validation, somebody that is just coasting off the fact that guys find her attractive. And that's not exactly very good. It's not an amazing sign if a girl is basing her self-worth off of something that she has not built, or something that she is not personality-wise, something that she just honestly gets handed to her. So what happens if that thing were to be taken away from her? Has a lot of guy friends. This one is something that, to be fair, are some girls that are super cool girls that have a lot of guy friends. That's totally fine. I actually don't have a problem with that in particular, but I will say this, there are a lot of girls that are very trashy, that are honestly evil women that have a lot of guy friends. And the reason being is because they surround themselves not with actual guy friends, but with guys that revalidate them on how attractive they are. Now, this is a girl that is histrionic. This is a girl that needs the validation. This is a girl that needs to be known and told constantly how attractive she is. That's, again, somebody that's very easy to manipulate and somebody that you don't want to have around you. That's somebody, actually, to be fair, that would manipulate you to keep you around, manipulate you, not because she actually likes you, but because she likes the validation of dating you. She wants you to tell her, so for whatever reason, she sees you as a beacon of somebody that can give her what she needs. And to be fair, she should only need herself. And if somebody needs something like this, guess what they will do to get that validation? It doesn't have to be from you. Is a bartender. Bars are made to draw people to them that are attention-seeking people, to be fair. It also is somebody that needs sometimes validation, or that maybe needs alcohol or wants to be around that kind of party environment. The people that are drawn to bars and alcohol-infused jobs generally are going to be more likely to be in the category of a party girl or a wild girl, somebody that's not really looking to settle down, or is looking to settle down and is going to ruin whatever guy she gets in a relationship with. She has very sexual and or revealing pictures on her Instagram. Again, this goes back to the same problem as the other ones. This is a girl that needs attention, that needs validation. Again, this is a lighter version of what follows in this, because some girls actually make their money by doing that, to be fair, or they use it to market or draw job opportunities to them. But to be fair, it's also, even those girls can be doing it for the reasons of getting that every so often message from a guy that she finds attractive, to be fair, or a guy that she is into on some level, and she is needing that guy to text her or text her how amazing she is, and she needs like 20 of these guys to tell her that she's attractive to feel attractive. And as time goes on, get this, she will need increasingly more guys to tell her she's attractive, or she won't feel of value. If she doesn't get enough guys chasing her every day, it's going to be first 1, then it's going to be 5, then it's going to be 10, then it's going to be 20, then it's going to be 100, then it's going to be 500, it's going to be 1,000. How many guys does she need to continue to keep her sense of how attractive am I at a baseline? And do you want to date somebody that is literally using this validation and this attention as crack, that is like becoming this addict and needs not your validation, but other people's validation, that needs an army of men's validation and not just you alone? No, of course not. This one is actually a little bit different, but I've noticed pretty classically from going out for the years that I have, every time I've ever talked to a girl that had tweaked, crooked, baby teeth, gap teeth, anything of the sort, generally speaking, were very promiscuous, very wild, and very in a party mood. They based a lot of their validation off of guys as well, just like the ones on prior. But the reason for this being is because the girls that have this happen usually means that it's an indication that possibly they didn't have parental figures that cared about them enough to get them braces. Every other girl you see gets their kids braces. If she doesn't have braces, generally speaking, it's an indication that she lacks a dad. Emotional, damn it! She complains about exes. She never admits to being wrong in the relationships. It's always the other person. She never did anything to mess up. If she was unwilling to look at her past with that guy and never admit any faults, then she wasn't honest with herself. And she also is unwilling to evolve and grow. She's going to be stuck at the same place forever. She's also going to do the same thing to you that she did to them, which I'll get into in a quick second. Brings up within 3 dates that she was raped and almost subtly brags about it. Now, people that actually have had traumatic stuff like this happen to them are not wearing it on their sleeves. They're not so quick to tell people about this because it is trauma. It is traumatizing to have happen. If you're proud that this kind of stuff happened, that's an indication that you're full of shit. And who's a person that's going to brag about that? Who wants that to be their identity? This is going to be me. And to be fair too, if this was her identity and she thinks she is this, guess what? She's going to be fighting to procreate this identity. Even if reality doesn't match up, if this girl is somebody that can self-lie, that is manipulative, that is evil, then to be fair, she is going to be willing and fully capable of twisting reality until, guess what? What she wants and who she wants to be comes to fruition. And if you're in her periphery, if you're the main focal point of her life, which for this girl, you would become that if you start dating her, she's going to turn you into a fulcrum a conduit to keep pulling this energy and this narrative from you through narcissism. To get her to have this reality, she needs you to feed her that this is who she is, and she will turn you into the aggressor if she has to. Dresses in a promiscuous way. Now, this is a little bit more on a scale. I mean, use your own judgment, but what I'm talking about is very clearly cleavage all the time, midriffs, body hugging clothing, maybe even walking around in a G-string, maybe having her boobs pop out, maybe your nipples are just barely being covered. These girls like this, they're not doing this because of some sense of loving their body or loving fashion. They're doing this because they like the attention. They like that they base their entire personality off their looks. They need guys to give them constant validation. If they're not getting constant validation, guess what? They're worthless again. Now, this one I've actually hinted at up to this point, patterns of dating. Patterns of dating. You can actually look at somebody and how you can actually, if you look at everybody's relationship, you can see patterns. Unless it's somebody that is evolving and working to evolve every relationship, and I mean aggressively working to evolve, for the most part, this person is following a pattern of dating, especially if they're jumping from one relationship to the next immediately. They're like, relationship. And they just boom, 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 boom. Well, they don't give themselves any time to grow or evolve. So you can usually, with most people, you can look at the last relationship and the relationship before that, and you can see a pattern, and you say, oh, this is going to be me. I'm going to be a part of this pattern. Do I like this pattern or do not like this pattern? Considering that she's no longer dating them, probably not. Considering that she is possibly not learning from her mistakes because she blocks them out, because she's so narcissistic that she cannot have a reality outside of what she has to believe to keep herself at a baseline, or else she's a worm. These narcissists, they have to be here. And if you were to bring them down to a point where they could possibly grow, they'd feel like a worm and worthless, and they'd be suicidal. So they keep themselves here. They can't handle the ego loss. This person is stuck an evil bitch. Family and friends warn you. Now, the more friends and family that warn you, the more irate and a little bit more wary you should be of a girl. If all your friends and family are unanimously saying somebody is crazy or something's going on, chances are they're right, you're wrong. Take their advice. Don't be an idiot and say, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the girl is telling me the truth, which we'll get into the next point, is gaslighting. Girls are incredible at social manipulation. They are geniuses at it. And they can make you feel like you're not in touch with reality, with what you're seeing, with what you're feeling. They're incredible manipulators. I've had girls legitimately tell me they didn't go to some porn star's house and then immediately afterwards tell me, oh no, it was for a job interview. Oh no, I was only supposed to be there for 3 hours. I stayed there for 6. Why are you being so jealous? It just became more and more jobs at the porn star's house. And guess what? I'm not a stupid guy. I believed her because she was so adamant that it was the case. Signs you're being gaslit, you do not trust reality. You can't trust reality. And the only person that's telling you reality is the way that you can't trust is the girl that you're talking to. Uncomfortable with boundaries. Now, if somebody is not liking it, that you're not moving faster with them in a relationship, they're not happy that you're not spending 100% of your time together, if you're not, actually to be fair, look into healthy boundaries after this video, check it out. Uncomfortable with time away. They are pushing constantly for you to come see them more and more and more. And if you were to tell them, hey, I'm busy, oh, sorry, I can't, I'm busy, and they start getting pouty or passive aggressive, that's a bad sign. They have shitty loser friends. If you surround yourself with losers, chances are you're a loser. If a girl surrounds herself with losers, chances are she's a fucking loser. We somewhat touched on this a second ago. Her parents. If her parents are white trash, losers, assholes, convicts, any of the above, if her parents are passive aggressive with you, asshole to you when you're super sweet, if they hate each other, if her parents hate each other, she's probably going to be reliving the childhood of her parents. Think about that. Her baseline relationship is based off of what she saw as a child. If you look at the parents, that's probably what you're going to be walking into if you're a dater long term. Inconsistent stories, details changing as new information is added. If a girl tells you one thing and then immediately after maybe like a day later, she gives you more information, but it contradicts the ones from the first day, she's lying. It doesn't matter what she's lying about, she's lying. And that's something to take into account. Not even necessarily the fact that she is lying about something specifically, but that she's lying at all. And why is she lying? And that's an indication that she's not going to always be truthful with you. That she is going to do little white lies. Little white lies are an indication that there are bigger lies abound. She has more guys in her Snapchat than she does in text. I don't have to explain this. I also honestly shouldn't have to explain this, but she is friends with older guys, but no older women. Yeah, mental disorders. Now, there's a lot of different mental disorders and there's a lot of types. A girl that brags about mental disorders is probably a narcissist, to be fair. She probably is not the mental disorder. Well, actually, to be fair, probably could be a narcissist and also have mental disorders. I've dated too many strippers to know that. I will say that for the most part, the ones you really need to look out for are BPD, bipolar, sociopathy, heavy narcissism, codependency, to be fair, depression is something too you just don't want to be around because you become that which you're around. I would say actually, to be fair, as a man, you shouldn't choose to date a girl seriously if she has a mental disorder. That's something that she should figure out herself, and she shouldn't date anybody. She should stay single till she figures out the mental disorder. Like this doesn't, or to mitigate for it, or figure out how to mitigate for it. If you're still having symptoms of a mental disorder and you haven't figured it out, you should stay single. Just enjoy being single. Why do you have to date somebody? And why am I taking away this valuable thing by not dating you? She can't be wrong. Or the only time she is wrong is when she's feeling like she's going to lose you if she doesn't admit to being wrong. And to be fair too, she probably won't even believe she's wrong. She will probably come to some like weird delusional fantasy that she's in the right. There's nothing that she can do to ever be responsible for her actions. If you were to actually try to hold her accountable for something she did, she will deflect, change subjects, blame you, and it's your fault. You cannot pin her down unless you had enough leverage to actually bring something up with her and have her fully be capable of handling it. You'd have to risk breaking up with her time and time again, because guess what? She can't handle the truth. She can't handle that she'd have to change or recognize that she has faults. And so instead, she's going to turn around and hurt you. Instead, she's going to spin this around time and time again and make you feel like the evil one. She's going to tell you that they're just friends. She's going to say that all these guys that are messaging me, they're just friends. When she knows better. Maybe she says, you know what? What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Or maybe she's thinking to herself, I'm in so much pain. And if he were to know what I have to do to keep myself at a baseline, maybe he would never talk to me again. Maybe he would never see me again. But here's the thing. This girl doesn't recognize that she has so much baggage that the only way to ever keep a truly good relationship would for her to have to face that bullshit, to face all the mistakes she made. And guess what? She won't do it. You know why? Because she's too narcissistic. She can't let go of the fact that she's too fucking in her false reality, in her lost delusions, in her inability to face anything that ever caused her pain. And now she's on to the from one high to the next, fucking one guy after the next, out there doing drugs, going on parties, flying to some rich guy's man, pretending to be perfect, pretending to be this perfect housewife, pretending to be all the things that she thinks that he wants instead of being herself, because she knows that her real self is a piece of shit. Guys, do not ruin your life dating one of these women. I don't care how hot they are. You guys get into this shit and then you guys care so much about the looks, you guys are unwilling to look at the person underneath the face. It's not just about the looks. It's not just about how hot a girl is. It's okay to stay single. Being single is a beautiful fucking thing. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't let anybody else tell you differently. Now, with that being said, peace. Yo, bitch, I got some